Hi, my name's Pauline Scott, and I am the owner and founder of Lullaby Lane Nurseries in Glasgow, in Scotland. And I'm delighted to be able to share with you today just the ethos around our attachment-led practice. And if I had to sum it up in one sentence, attachment-led practice is all about putting our children's emotional health and well-being at the heart of all of our practice. And we do that in three key ways. We do that by continuing to build our knowledge and understanding of the latest neuroscience around attachment theory, early brain development, and the science around human connection and the power of relationships. We do that through the phrase that we use of you start with the adults present in the life of children. And thirdly, we do that through continuing to develop secure bases from which our children can confidently play and explore and make sense of the world around them. But if I start with the knowledge and understanding, for us, we have made a huge investment of time and a financial investment into deepening the knowledge and understanding that our team have of attachment theory. And we do that over a year-long programme called Daring Ventures that we have developed in conjunction with our partner, Dr Suzanne Zeedyk, who's a developmental psychologist. And we have taken different concepts of attachment theory and really deepened and enriched our knowledge and understanding to then be able to think about how we would apply that in daily practice. And we're in our second year of that programme, and every single one of our team members undertakes that full training programme. And that's been so important for us to really strengthen the confidence of our team to think about what attachment theory would look like in practice, to have reflective and peer discussions around that. And once we've put that into practice, thinking about how we can articulate that with our wider attachment community, as we call it. That would be our parents, our families, the local schools and nurseries within our area, and our regulators and our local authority. And we class all of those as a wider attachment community. And we want to be able to share that knowledge and understanding with the community that will help to support the development of our children. And the second thing we do is we start with the adults that are present in the life of the children. And that means that we cannot ask our team to nurture and support our children's emotional health and wellness if they do not feel supported themselves. So we have put a lot of emphasis on really supporting our team to manage and have strategies for their emotional regulation. We do lots around mindfulness. We do lots about understanding the impact of stress and anxiety on the body and the brain, and how we can build strategies to be able to relax and calm our feelings and our emotions, how we can calm our bodies in those moments of relational stress or fear and anxiety. We make lots of platforms and opportunity for our team to come together and connect. Again, knowing that those secure relationships and those consistent relationships really help people when they're in moments of anxiety or struggle. And it's within those connections that lots of our team have started to feel really safe. So they too will go on and have daring ventures, push themselves out their comfort zone and really challenge themselves in their own practice and their own ambition and their own belief. And thirdly, we try to develop that secure base from which our children can take those daring ventures within their play, their exploration, and making sense of the world around them. And that really means understanding the power of relationships. Understanding that attainment will never take place unless there's secure attachment. So attachments come before attainment. And those attachments, those relationships, they take time to build. They take time between the adult and the child to develop, to become one of secure, trusting relationships. And that is something that we try to really nurture for our children when they join Lullaby Lane. Because what we really know is that that time before the children join us is key to developing that secure, trusting relationship. And that's not just with the children, that is with the wider family as well. Parents are leaving their children in our care, and it's so important that they trust the other adults that are going to be in our children's lives. So we take our time to really understand the family, understand their needs, but we take time to create moments of connection where we really get to know each other. And then we try to develop that relationship into building more multiple relationships within the nursery. So we introduced the key worker system, then we introduced a secondary key worker. But our knowledge has taught us that, again, our children cannot develop all of those relationships at the same time. So we take it again at the child's pace. And we want our children to come to Lullaby Lane, and we want them to really get the richest learning experiences that they can, the richest play experiences that they can. And we know that that will not happen if our children do not feel emotionally safe. So we want them to enjoy the environment, we want them to get that rich experience, but we want them to do that through having a trusting, consistent adult that is present within their life who really understands them, knows their idiosyncrasies, knows their personality, and is highly attuned to their emotional needs and the needs of the wider family. And I'm delighted that you're going to get the opportunity to hear from some of our team and some of our families about what attachment-led practice means to them and what it feels like for their child and their family.
At Lullaby Lane, we put the emotional well-being of the team and the children at the heart of everything that we do. We use a variety of techniques to promote positive well-being, such as kit bag, yoga and mindfulness. By giving the children these techniques, it gives them the opportunity to be able to name how they feel and understand their emotions a bit better. We always say you've got to name it to tame it. By using these tools, and with the children being able to name how they feel, it gives them a better understanding of how to emotionally regulate themselves, and this will have a positive impact on their brain development and will help them as they learn and grow. By taking part in some yoga and mindfulness sessions, it gives the children a better understanding of their bodies. It gives them the chance to focus on the present moment and to also get a sense of calm. By taking part in this, it allows the children to use different ways to relieve some stress from their bodies, and this again will help to promote positive brain development and help them to be able to regulate themselves. We use all of these techniques that we use with the children with the team as well. We always say you've got to start with the adults present in the life of children. These techniques allow the team to talk openly and honestly with each other about how they feel, and it allows other members of the team to step in and support when needed. All of this promotes a positive working environment, and if the adults feel emotionally safe and emotionally regulated, this will have a positive impact on the children.
When stepping into parenthood myself and having a young boy, now 2 young boys, I knew there was going to come a time where essentially I was going to have to hand over my sons to the care of others on a daily basis. And for me, that's not easy as a first-time parent. In fact, it's scary. And that's why, for me, it was absolutely vital that it was going to be an attachment-led nursery. It was going to be led and have practitioners within its setting, steeped in the knowledge of attachment. It was going to be steeped in love. The psychological and physical safety of my son was going to be put as a priority. I.e., if it hurts himself, he's going to be lifted, he's going to be cuddled, and he's going to be cared for. And that was very important to me. I want to know that when my sons are having a tough day, like we all do as parents, as adults and as children, that somebody was going to pick them up, cuddle them, and tell them everything was going to be okay. My eldest son Jack, who is 4, has now been at Lullaby Lane for 3 years, and we have been fully supported by the nursery on a daily basis in terms of his care, but also as a parent we have been provided support from a knowledge base, i.e. we've attended parents workshops, which were also delivered with Suzanne Zeedyk and gave us an insight into attachment theory and what that meant for us as parents. Ultimately, all us ever wanted was to keep becoming a better parent, and that is what those sessions and parent sessions has done for me. The strong level of care and strong level of love shown for my son, my eldest son Jack, is what led me to also bringing in Daniel. Daniel is 10 months old just now. He's just settling in at this moment in time. The nursery have been fantastic. Before they started, they were sending in videos to introduce themselves. And that for me is what an attachment-led nursery does. They understand the need to start building attachments at an early stage, even if it is remote. And ultimately that's what we live in at this moment in time, unfortunately. And the nursery were able to adapt to that. And during the time of remote working and various different restrictions, as I've previously mentioned, that is when the nursery stepped up and provided remote learning sessions for us as parents. It's been really, really helpful, supportive, and not just to hear from the nursery and not just to hear from the likes of Suzanne Zeedyk, but actually to hear from other parents and hear the struggles they're having from a remote working capacity, their children going to nursery during the restrictions, but also to bounce off the team members, who have been able to provide real insights into the nursery workings and how they've cared and loved their children over the course of the last 12 months. It's been a fantastic journey with being a parent of Lullaby Lane Nursery and having my 2 young boys now going there, and I would highly recommend anyone going to an attachment-led practice nursery